Well, hello guys. It is Thursday, which can only mean one thing. It is time once again for another segment of Odds and Ends, where I read you guys some really weird and crazy news stories and make you scratch your head and be like, what? So, today we have four stories. Two comes out of different countries, and two within the United States. So, if you guys are ready for some crazy-ish, let's begin. Our first story comes out of Zimbabwe. A government minister told a parliamentary committee that all work on new reservoirs in the county has stopped because workers have been frightened off by mermaids. Zimbabwe state-approved Herald newspaper reports that Water Resources Minister Samuel Sipipa Nkomo testified to the committee that workers at sites near the towns of Goek and Matoi have refused to return to work. Quote, "All the officers I have sent have vowed not to go back there," Nkomo was quoted as saying. The reservoir projects are considered essential in the drought-plagued countries to provide adequate water for rural villagers and farmers. The water minister said mermaids continue to be a problem in other reservoirs as well. Mermaids? Well, I mean, then again, there are different versions of mermaids. One are kind of like what most people think it is, like Little Mermaid, and then there's mermaids like Pirates of the Caribbean, which will like eat your face or whatever it is. So I can kind of see how they're to blame though, but I really doubt there's really even proof that mermaids even exist. So, but I mean, there might be a chance though, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. All right. Now our second one, and there's going to be a lot of hard pronunciations and stuff like that. So I apologize in advance though, but it comes out of Germany. So pardon if my German isn't that great though, but according to a report in the news magazine Der Spiegel, an artist has successfully sued a gallery for more than 2,000 euros, or in American dollars, it's $2,657, over the loss of two old French fries. An original piece of artwork by Stefan Bachenberger, called Pommes d'Eau, consisted of two gold-gilded French fries laid in the form of a cross set next to two normal fries. The work was first exhibited in 1990. When the Munich gallery Mosul und Teschau returned Pommes d'Eau to Bachenberger last year, however, the two non-gold fries were not included. Argued over the loss of his original artwork, Bachenberger sued. A German court ruled that the gallery must hand over 2,000 euros plus 5% interest dating back to May of 2010, when the desiccated fast food was lost. Gallery owner Andrea Teschau denied the fries should be considered art. Quote, "There were crosses made of fries that were not meant to be artworks, but not this one. This was just the model for the Golden Cross," she said. Unfortunately, a woman acquainted with the artist testified in court that she would have to have forked over 2,500 euros for the plain, non-gilded fries. Court spokesperson Wilhelm Schneider told Der Spiegel that, quote, "The artist receives damages if the lost objects have an economic value. In addition to the damages, Mosul und Teschau was required to cover 90% of the court costs." Wow, it's a little harsh. 90% of court costs, plus you have to pay 2,000 on top of 2,500 euros for two fries. Well, I guess that's art, and I guess that's how things go if things don't go the way people want them to. Now we're moving on to our two stories that comes out of the United States. Our first one comes from Alaska, and I'm pretty sure they got some crazy-ish going on over there, which is why they're here. So, in Alaska, the Anchorage Daily News reports North Pole resident Stanislaus Goriskawak, again, more pronunciation stuff, I apologize, has been charged with felony extortion after allegedly threatening to teach, quote, crackheads how to make electromagnetic, quote, electromagnetic distortion devices unless the state of Alaska paid him $85,000. Goretzkoak telephoned state troopers earlier this month and informed them that he knew how to use discarded televisions to make devices that could block police radios, computer communications, and cell phones. He also threatened to cut off the communications of oil companies and credit card companies if the state didn't come through with the cash, which he says he owes to credit cards. Goretzkoak also talked to troopers about possibly damaging vehicles with University of Alaska stickers on them. Quote, Goretzkoak is getting resentful towards people he feels did him wrong and indicated that he is not threatening any particular act of terrorism or any particular target right now, but he is smart, mentally ill, resourceful, and that he is capable of doing the above listed acts of terrorism if he is not helped out financially. Sergeant Jess Carson wrote an affidavit. I don't know. Authorities say Goretzkoak blames the state and major corporations for his financial situation, lack of education, and material problems. The high-tech blackmailer is currently in the Fairbanks Correctional Center, charged with felony extortion and threatening harm. Quote, yeah, he's a little different, Sergeant Carson told Seattle Weekly. Wow, if you're that smart and you're using that to do those kind of things just because you owe credit, one, you are smart but you're not using your resources very well, and two, you're the one who wanted to get a credit card and you decided, okay, cha-ching, 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 and the next thing you know, you're going to owe that much money. So that's how the financial system works. You should have known that. And then finally, our last story comes out of Montana. It cost a Butte man $1,000 to cross an item off his bucket list. The Montana Standard reports that 55-year-old John C. Hughes pleaded guilty earlier this month in city court to misdemeanor reckless driving while eluding a peace officer. The chase began at 3:25 a.m. on February 2nd when officers report a man followed a patrol car for 7 blocks, then performed a U-turn and took off at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour. Hughes' Nissan Xterra was eventually stopped by a set of tire spikes. Asked why he started the chase when he was sober, had no drugs, and was not wanted by police, Hughes told officers, quote, I just always wanted to do that. Hughes was fined $1,000 and released on his own recognize. Wow. Needless to say, that's one crazy thing to do on your bucket list. But, man, $1,000, that's a lot. But I say it's kind of not worth it, though. But I think it's just because of the fact that you're going speed and that Montana's speeding laws are a lot more different than they are now or in other states. So I think that's mostly why it cost him a lot, though. But hey, if he wanted to do it, then he did. That's why it's odds and ends for a reason. But speaking of which, anyways, guys, that is it for our stories. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching or listening to these as much as I always do. And we will probably see you guys next Thursday for another edition of Odds and Ends. So, see ya.